This is the S&P 500 one-day reading for October 3rd, 2023. It's currently September 6th, 2023, 9:17 p.m. Eastern Time. The S&P 500 at the time of this reading is currently 4,465.48, and the shuffle file we're about to play for the third was created on July 28th, 2023 at 1:31 p.m. Eastern Time. That's this video right here. The overall theme and behavior for the third is going to be a period of volatility and a sharp drop that stands out in that period of volatility. That'll be on a one-day scale. The behavior around the highest high, again, we have a cross-reading congruency where we have a highest high, a highest high significator appearing here in the high for the one-day reading as well. So it's very likely that we revisit the highest high or we come close. It seems to be a pretty mixed day, which is why we see the Ace of Swords correlations here at the open, midday, and then at the close, as indicated by the clear or the translucent yellow. The behavior around the lowest low, we're going to meet a resistance level near the low that we've met many times before and failed to break through. A very strong resistance near the low. And then I'm advised to the trade opportunity here is going to be a significant one on a multi-day scale, not just on a one-day scale, a significant on a multi-day scale as indicated by the Fool card. It's an improbable opportunity. So I think what happens is we open lower. There's a period of volatility and a decline into the open where we have our first low for the day, and then that's followed by a fast sudden move higher, marking the end of that period of volatility, taking us to a high, our first high for the day. So we go from a low to a high, pretty notable. And that's also indicated here with the high and the low significators correlating to each other. That's generally what that means, is they're within close time proximity to each other, or there's a very straight kind of move from one to the other. By straight, I mean not a lot of back and forth going on. Sometimes that's the case, but it's usually they're within close time proximity to each other. And so we see our first high and our first low here around the open. Off of the high, we decline pretty notably. There's a trade opportunity, matter of fact, at the open in the midst of that high. Well, in the midst of this low around the open, that's likely where I would close the short position from the following day if I didn't choose to take a day trade, which would have been a more cautious and I'd say more like a better trader would take the day trade over the overnight trade, knowing what the market does to the retail investor overnight. But in any case, this is a place where you would get out in the midst of the first low there. And if I'm wrong and we opened higher, then you would just hold on because we end up going from a high to a low in a case like that. But I think we go from low at the open to a high somewhere around the open, decline into another trough around 10 o'clock where we, wow, this is really mixed. This is really mixed, guys. Let me go again. So decline from the pre-market into a low at the open, big move out of the low and out of a period of volatility to the upside, taking us to a high, and then we decline from that high in the first half hour down to a trough around 10:15, with a fast sudden move higher, ending that decline somewhere around 10:15, taking us to another high. From that high, however, we decline between 10 and 11, notably revisiting a support level that we met once before. It's quite possible it's the low again, based on the amount of back and forth that's going on. It could be. And there's a trade opportunity there as well. There's quite a few different ways you could actually play these trades here. I would say when we have this fast sudden move higher to our second high of the day, I would open up a short position for a scalp trade and close that scalp trade closer to like the second half of that hour, so closer to 11 o'clock. And then in the 11 to 12 o'clock hour, we do have a rally towards around like 11:30-ish. There's a notable rally taking us into a overbought peak or crest midday, and we sell off from that overbought peak or crest pretty notably. Okay, so that's what it is. We're seeing the same price level as my sense. Are we seeing the same price level? Yeah, we're seeing the same price level. That's that Ace of Swords indication. We see it here when we have this fast sudden move higher to the high, and then we see again at a peak or crest. And then there's a pretty sharp drop here to another low. The Ace of Discs is an exit place to exit out of a short. And a big move, a breakout around 2 o'clock off of key support where we have a lot of price change to the upside. I'm advised not to chase that rally around 2 o'clock. It's really a pop and drop. It may continue into the 2 to 3 o'clock hour, but there's a pop and drop, and around the close, I think we decline pretty significantly. If I'm wrong and we end up at another high right at the close, which is possible based on what I'm seeing, and it could be a possibility, I would say we open lower the following day, and I would exit shorts if I was in a short position and we didn't go to the downside at the close. I would exit shorts the following day. We'll get into that in more detail. The overall volume is going to be mixed, but to the bullish side for the day, which is interesting because it's an overall, it looks like a bearish day. There should be a pretty sharp drop here, guys, around 1 o'clock. A lot of pop and drops back and forth going on here on the 3rd. And then the sneak preview, like I said, for the following day is a notable decline through multiple supports. We likely open lower. That's the S&P 500 for October 3rd. Guys, remember to follow that rule of karma. All the angel investors of our channel are the reason why we're actually here continuing to put out content, because we have supporters doing the right thing, which is, hey, you're making a bunch of money off of like ridiculously large amount of work that I do to get this information. It's not like pulling it out of a hat, right? So the right thing to do is to follow the rule of karma, send 5% of that profit forward to one of these charities, which is the intention of the channel, to transmute competitive energy of the stock market into goodwill, and then make sure to support the channel and show some gratitude and send 5% of the profits back to the channel through one of these links. Leaves all of our angel investors with 90%, way more than you'd make if you were working with a stockbroker, and they spend that out of love. As long as you follow those rules, you're an angel investor of the channel, and the universe is going to send it back to you tenfold through this channel, my friends. Later.